Okay, bonus video. So some of us are having trouble with understanding reflections and the rules for reflections. So I thought we should just kind of talk about what's happening during these reflections, all right? So no matter where the line of symmetry is, okay, wherever you're reflecting, let's say this point we're going to reflect point A over our line of symmetry. When we reflect this point over the line of symmetry, it is the same distance away from the line on the other side, okay? Let's say the line of symmetry is like this, and we're reflecting this point over the line of symmetry. It's the same distance away. Let's say the line of symmetry was a diagonal, okay? This point is being reflected over the line. It's the same distance on the other side, okay? That's the key to reflections. So, you will usually have a large figure like a triangle or some sort of quadrilateral that you're being asked to reflect over the line, especially on the SOLs, okay? A lot of times you don't have to reflect the whole thing. It'll say just reflect point A. So I want you to look at each point separately and reflect each point separately, okay? So this example just has one point because I want you to look at each point separately. So first thing we do is these words here. When you're reflecting a point or an image, whatever, with respect to the x-axis or the y-axis, with respect to just means over, okay? So let's draw our line of symmetry, our line of reflection, okay? So how far away is this point from our line of symmetry here, okay? From our line that we're reflecting over. It's currently 1, 2 away. When we reflect it over the line, it's going to be 1, 2 away. So this point has been reflected to 6, -2. So A prime will be at 6, -2. So you can see when you're reflecting over the x-axis, the x-coordinate is not changing. The y-coordinate is becoming negative, okay? It was reflecting from here to here, it's the same rule, okay? Now, let's reflect this point with respect to the y-axis, okay? So now, here's our line of reflection, the y-axis here, okay? So now, how far away is this point from this line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the point's at -6, 2. What's happening to the coordinates? Notice the y-coordinate is staying the same, and the x-coordinate is becoming negative, or it's the opposite, okay? So if we had a point from the third quadrant going to the fourth quadrant, it's the same rule, okay? So the y would stay the same, and the x would be becoming the opposite sign. Okay. Now we're going to reflect with respect to the line y equals x. If you do not know how to graph this, you need to take out your calculator, press y equals, and type in x, and take a look at the graph, okay? This is the line y equals x. What does y equals x mean? X equals y equals x. So whatever, if I put 1 in for x, I'm going to get 1 for y. 2, 2, 3, 3. So it looks like this. I can't find my y-axis. Is that right? There we go. Be careful when you're drawing this, because if you're going to count, like the way I'm going to show you how to do right now, and I will draw the whole thing. Okay, this point is how far away from the line? It is 1, 2, I'm counting diagonally, this is a diagonal line. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. When I reflect it over the line, it's going to be the same distance on the other side. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So the original coordinates are at 5, -3. And now the new A prime is at negative 3, positive 5. What's happened? Here's the rule. The x and the y are switching places. That's it. And that's for reflecting over y equals x. Okay, you can use the rule if you'd like, and then you don't have to count, or if it's easier for you to count, just go ahead and count. Okay, I already drew this line, y equals negative x. If you don't know this, then you need to look at it on the calculator. But really, what does y equals negative x mean? If I put in 1 for x, y will be negative 1. Sorry. If I put in 2 for x, y will be negative 2. Okay, so these points are, this has a slope of negative 1, so the Hummer is going downhill. The one before it had a positive slope, a slope of positive 1. So the car was going uphill. We go from left to right. We read from left to right. We do math from left to right. Okay, the Hummer starts on the left. He's going uphill. It's a positive slope. All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3. So on the other side, 1, 2, 3, right here. So we've got negative 4, is that right? Negative 2. Okay, now we know I'm moving this point into the 1 to the third quadrant where we know the x and the y values are negative. So we know they have to be negative, but here's the rule. The x and the y will switch and they'll also become negative. Okay? So you can use the rule, or if you're having trouble with the rule, which is the reason why I created this video, you can just count. Now the only thing when you count is sometimes you have to count a half a block. So for instance, if I had a point here and I was counting 1 and then this would be a half, on the other side when I reflected it, it would have to be a half again and then 1. Okay? That's it.